It was Christmas Eve 1913 when John Franks, unhappy with the way the founder of Pelzer Manufacturing Company was running the town, crossed the railroad tracks to start a town of his own. You see, there were three things that Captain Elson A. Smythe didn't allow in Pelzer: alcohol, gambling, and dogs. So Franks surveyed the land and laid out a new municipality less than a quarter mile down the road. Originally called Frankville, the new Anderson County town was renamed West Pelzer in 1918.
It was not a way to look back to Pelzer and say we don't want to be a part of you. It was a way to say that we're a different type of municipality. We're a municipality that's moving forward, and while we continue to represent our past, it's about the future and what's next. And so that's why we use the hashtag #GoWest. We want you to go west and look for the future.
Sanders will tell you that West Pelzer is the gateway to Anderson County, Clemson University, and the Blue Ridge Mountains. But as a kid growing up just outside of the town limits, he told his parents that he would never live in West Pelzer. After graduating from Clemson University, he worked in Atlanta, then lived and worked in Greenville. In 2007, while riding through West Pelzer on the way home from church, Sanders and his wife spotted a homeowner driving a for sale sign into the front yard of a home along Main Street.
I made him a ridiculous offer, and he accepted it. But immediately moving into the city, I found that the first day, the mayor and the chief of police were both two individuals that stopped by to say hello, to welcome me to the city.
In 2011, Sanders ran for city council and won. Then in 2015, he ran for mayor, and at the age of 33, became the second youngest mayor in South Carolina.
Being a landscape architect by trade, working in cities across the country, I started to realize that I needed to, what I call, smoke what I sell. And so if I'm going to travel across the country and talk about finance and bonding and how to make downtowns better, I should probably be doing it here as well.
A 2017 market study funded by the Hometown Economic Development Grant showed that West Pelzer could support 1 to 2 retail shops and 1 to 2 restaurants. The study helped secure Milltown Place, a meat-and-three restaurant, Westie's, an antique and home goods store, and the Lincoln Tap Room, which is billed as a small southern tap room serving craft beers, fine wines, and the coldest root beer around. Now in his second term, Sanders, along with the town council and administrator Paula Payton, led a town that went from 100% vacancy downtown to a revitalized Main Street featuring retail, restaurants, and a new municipal center.
I'm proud to say that the town of West Pelzer was the first occupant of Main Street. When government can't do it first, we can't expect the private sector to do it.
Educating citizens, even the youngest ones, on how local government works is a passion for Sanders and Payton, who each year visit the local elementary school to talk with students about how government affects their lives. During their annual visit, they ask students to write on a chalkboard what they would do if they were mayor.
QT's top of the list, Chick-fil-A's top of the list, water park, potholes, believe it or not, but then one person wrote swing set, and they circled it a number of times. And so Paul and I sat down and developed a plan where we would partner with the school and we would match dollar for dollar every penny that they raised. And so they raised enough to purchase a swing set to put in our park. Again, which is a big deal when we can bring the kids back out for a second time, let them cut the ribbon and show them that government listened to you, that we didn't tax you to take this or to build this, but we wanted to be a part of your ideas, your relationship with the town, and now we have a swing set in Chapman Park.
A small town mayor in the middle of one of the fastest growing regions of the country, Sanders says West Pelzer understands its role as a bedroom community.
They call it a bedroom community because that's where you sleep at. And we have to look at the opportunities that we provide other communities that maybe don't have the resources that we would have. And so we have sidewalks on Main Street, we have the bicycle lane, we have the downtown retail shops, we have the meat-and-three, we have the tap room, we have the churches, the grocery store. And so everything that you could have in downtown Greenville on a much smaller scale, you can have in West Pelzer. So we're strategizing to make our Main Street prominent in the community so that we understand that it's okay to work in Greenville, it's okay to work in Greer, it's okay to work in Anderson, but we want you to put your head in your bed here. We want you to understand what home looks like, and home is different than where you work.
While he's still one of the youngest mayors in South Carolina and only in his second term, Sanders admits that he does think about his legacy. One of his large ideas is trails that transform communities, like the Swamp Rabbit Trail that connects Greenville and Travelers Rest. Sanders talks matter-of-factly about the mid-90s when there were 2 railroad lines being abandoned in the upstate, one going from downtown Anderson through Belton, West Pelzer, Pelzer, Piedmont, and Powdersville, and tying in just north of the city of Greenville. The other went from downtown Greenville to Travelers Rest. The communities chose different paths, one deciding to purchase the rail and make it a trail, and the other deciding to let the rail line go back to the adjacent property owners.
I would like for my legacy project to be a way to connect downtown Anderson, downtown Belton, downtown West Pelzer to that trail in Travelers Rest that sees 500,000 people a year. I think there's still an opportunity for us to engage that and to really intertwine with what would be multimodal transportation in the upstate.
For now, Sanders continues to encourage people to go west or at least come for a visit and have a cold beer or root beer at the Lincoln Tap Room.
So it's called the Lincoln Tap Room because one, Lincoln was the president that brought two groups of people together that many thought could not be brought together, but also because he was the president who made Thanksgiving a federal holiday. And then the joke that the owners have is that one day Pelzer and West Pelzer will join over a cold root beer at the Lincoln Tap Room.
For Living Upstate, I'm Jamarcus Gaston.